So my name is Nimat, and welcome to our film screening. How are we doing today? I'm cancer. Oh, fine. Okay. So I'm going to be bringing Oscar to the stage. Michael Oscar is the founder of Africa Communicate and the program's coordinator for this Gamathon. Oscar has been a very strong force in this industry. I'm going to, yes, please clap for Oscar, guys. Yes.
What's up now?
Oscar has been a very strong force in this industry, and we're really proud of the work that Africa Communicate is doing. So please let's give it up for Oscar, please.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Yeah. Woo. It's been quite a week, right? Yeah. Thanks so much for joining us in this experience. It's getting more interesting and intense daily, but I'm sure everybody is well rested from yesterday's journey, right? Okay then. So it's 5:30 plus. I would not take much of your time, and welcome to our film screening. I'm really excited because this is the second year we're actually screening short animation films. The first time we did this was in the year 2021, and good news, one of the films we screened that year, we will be screening it again this year so that you all can see. Why are we screening short films? As you know, Africa Communicate is a launchpad for people in games, animation, comics, and XR. And for us, Africa Communicate, we're focused on the video games industry. That's what we put at the forefront. But then we've already explained that this industry connects to all in digital and interactive media. So we're really excited to have you all here. We'll be screening 4 short animation films from across Africa. We have 2 from Nigeria, 1 from Senegal, and 1 from Zambia. Yeah. And what's exciting is one of them is an anime. I know a lot of Africans are anime fans. And so the one from Zambia is an anime. We're growing, and we're excited to see what creators, young creators, the ones that have also been here for a long while are building. And we're here to, when you watch it, feel free to give your feedback to all the stakeholders who created this. So, but before we go into the film screening, we're going to take a very short, is it a tour? There is an ongoing exhibition, and that's part of the experience. So we're just going to follow Sam. I think Sam would be here in a minute. We're going to follow Sam. One of the comic studios, Vortex, has an ongoing exhibition. It's actually closed because, you know, today is a public holiday, but because of us, they are opening it, so we get to experience that. Yeah, please clap for Alliance Francis, please. Yes, and so we're going to go see that exhibition. We'll spend about 15 minutes, 20 minutes max there. And when we come back, we'll be very grateful if you can just sit in the front row. Yes, I know you like staying at the back, thank you, but please just stay in the front row so that we can fill up this little space. And once we're done with the screening, we'll get to interact and talk, knowing that tomorrow is the main industry day where the pitch competition and so many other stuff is happening. So, welcome once more. We are humbled and honored to have you all as our guest. So, Sam will come lead us right now. Yeah, thank you.
Say yes. Please.
Yes. Yes, I believe you can leave your bag. This is Alliance Francis. And we have this young man here. Okay then, yeah, I'm sure you enjoyed that little activity, right? You loved what you saw, huh? Yeah, so please, if you are posting anything online, for those of you that went for the studio tour yesterday as well, whatever you are doing, please try and tag those studios. Tag us as well, we'd really appreciate it. We've all come to agree that our industry seems to be eating, right? So now it's in your hands to make people realize that there are actually people doing amazing stuff in Nigeria, across Africa. And how did we agree on that? Most of you said what? We're always eating. So now when you are posting, tag them so that they can know where these things are coming from, okay? So if you went to the studios, you visited Comic Republic, what other studio did you visit? Magic Carpet, Radio City Media, and then you saw stop motion, yeah. So please, as you are posting it, tag those people so that you can also help create that visibility that there is an industry. I'm tired of trying to explain to people that we have game developers, we have comic studios. Push it out there so that they know what is going on. And today is Vortex Comics. That's the studio carrying out that exhibition, and that's VX Comics on Instagram. And online you can find them, just tag and all. Yeah, so we're starting a film screening. We don't want to take much of your time. We want you relaxed, enjoying yourself. And the first short film we'll be screening is an anime. An anime from Zambia by the studio Utopia. And the name of this anime is Bushido. Please, a round of applause for them, yeah. Yes, so when I reached out to them, I really have to say thank you to these guys because the anime came out this year, and when I reached out to them, it was on really short notice. And they reached out to me, and I did not respond for a long time. So I'm really grateful they pulled through because they sent us every file we need and gave us the permission to screen this. And I find it, I know you anime fans would have your comments and all, but I find it very interesting to see that, oh, we already have like an anime community. But now seeing people going into that art style and trying to create something, it's really interesting, and it shows you how the world is becoming smaller every day. Or like that concept of Africans should create African comics or stuff like that. You are your own limitation in truth. As a creator, you have the power to express yourself in any way you like, and you shouldn't limit yourself to your environment. So I'm sure you might have feedback on it, no issues, no problem. Right? But feel free to reach out to the creator. That's why he's allowing us screen this, so that you all can watch and give him feedback. So, yes, let the screening begin.
Integrity, respect, courage, compassion, sincerity, loyalty, and honor. These were the virtues of the Bushido code that every samurai held during the Sengoku Jidan, the age of war in feudal Japan. It was a code that I was sworn to, one I was pledged to for life. But that's not how it all began. My home was a place where I had to hunt to survive. I hunted to feed my brothers and sisters. But all things made to hunt can be prey to another. Before I knew what had happened to me, I woke up in a boat. I could hear the sky crying, the storm's rage matching my own, as tales of every wave crashed violently against the body of wherever this boat is going. I knew that I was nowhere near the place I had called home. I had been sold into the service of the Jesuit church. I was their bodyguard. As they traveled east, I found myself in a land totally unfamiliar to myself. Why are all these people looking
They
at
are
me?
saying great demon, guardian deity.
Why?
They have never seen a man of your skin before. You look like one of their statues. One of their ancient statues.
I have been called many things, but a god or a demon was new to me. The people came to see me at the church, but they weren't the only ones who had eyes on me. Up on the hill, looking over the chaotic roar of the crowds, was a man who I came to know as the Daimyo, the lord of the land, Oda Nobunaga. I have heard stories of your kind. Skin as dark as coal, however, it's simply just a show. A gimmick. You have put ink all over your body. Scrubbing is what you need, and all of it will come off. And so, the great unifier, Lord Nobunaga, ordered his servants to scrub the ink off my body. Still inked. Your tricks will not work. Second scrubbing. And they scrubbed again. Third scrubbing. And again. A fourth scrubbing. This time with hot water. And again, but this time with hot water. Lord Nobunaga was convinced that I was real and enlisted me into the ranks of his army, giving me the honorary title of samurai and the name. I was appointed Lord Oda's personal guard and accompanied him on the battlefield as he continued his campaign to unify Japan. From battle to battle, I joined the Oda's forces, cutting down anyone who had raised a finger at them. I was given a blade, and I used it to strike. Nobunaga had treated me with a luxury that I'd never been able to afford in life. He gave me a name, he gave me land. Many hadn't dined with the Lord himself, but he gave me a seat at his table. I owed him my life, my servitude, which led me to the day at Iwayama Bridge. Against Lord Oda's word, I traveled to Iwayama Bridge. It was said that there was a yokai, a demon that the locals called Noperabo, a faceless ghost. We had received reports that this demon had routed and killed all the forces that had wanted to pass through the Iwayama Bridge. Nobunaga wanted me to wait out the ghost, but with other clans moving in on us, we needed a way out of the valley.
What is this? A new challenger? You carry the sword, but you are unlike any samurai I know.
I need you to get off the bridge.
Need me to get off the bridge? I see. Look around you. I have a hard time listening to orders.
I won't tell you twice. Yokata. I needed a new katana anyway. The demon was faster than I expected. It fought with this animalistic barbaric rage, uncoordinated, sneaky but effective. When one of its blades were useless, it tossed it aside and picked up another. It knocked dust into my eyes, tore at my skin. I didn't see the sword in my gut until it was too late. Yasuke? Yasuke! Oda-sama! Yasuke! Too slow. I got up from the ground, my body still spilling from my gut, swinging my blade in a ferocious rage. But the Noperabo, this savage, clearly saw through it and cut me down once more.
Samurai. Not even a real samurai. But I will give you a death like one.
Yasuke, do you understand the difference between the warrior of where you are from and the warrior that are here in these lands? No. It's not the katanas we carry. The spears, firearms, the battle tactics. Those things don't make up the warrior. Then what does? Integrity, respect, courage, compassion, sincerity, loyalty, and honor. There is no difference between our warriors. Only those who follow the codes and those who don't. That is the Bushido Code. That is the way of the warrior. I rose from the ground, my grip stronger on my katana, my stance firm, my eyes clean of their rage, but raw with something more fierce. You're no samurai. They called me a great demon, and others a guardian deity. But that's not who I am. That's not what I am. My name is Yasuke, the samurai warrior!
When I first learned how to rap though, I was but a cricket with a mad flow. Then I mastered the craft, broke 10,000 hours, you can call me a natural. Now I'm shadow boxing with myself. Yeah, now I'm shadow boxing
Yeah, what do you guys think? Huh? Yeah, let me hear from you. Why am I up here? Who wants to share? What do you think of this? Anyone, please.
I like the art style. It's amazing.
Hold on. Say it out. Why? What are you doing at the back? Eh?
I was recording.
Okay. Yes. Do you want to say something?
So it's quite amazing knowing that this came from the catalog of an African creative, and it's quite amazing to see. So yeah, it's for me 100%.
Let's clap for Bushido, please. But please feel free to criticize. We're not just here to say amazing.
Okay, I think. All right, my name is John. I think it's absolutely amazing, but I think what stands out for me is the sound. I like the sound engineering put into this recording, and I know the critique will be maybe the animation and the movement of the speech and a lot of other things, but I'm sure that can be worked on. But I think the idea itself and the execution was fantastic.
Please let's clap for him. This is one of our first proper screenings, and then we're going to be doing a lot more. So I'm really excited to bring you all animation from across Africa. This is the first of many. Any feedback from here, please? Anyone? Do you? No. Do you? No. Anyone here? No. Okay. Ooh, wow. Okay. Okay then, so that was from Zambia. That was really. We're going to have another session with him where in our next screenings, these creators will be available, even if virtual, so that they can get to discuss with you, tell you why they did what they did and their process. But this is the first of many, and we're really excited to be bringing this to you all. Yes, and that was from Zambia. Really excited. When I saw it, my mind was blown. And yeah. So we're going to our next screening, and this, what can I say? The name is Thought of Power, or you say Thought Power. And I would love to see what you experience of it feels like. I would love to see how you relate it. It's an animation that I think was meant to be screened at another event, and they were like, it's too controversial. And so I said, I like controversial. So let's see what let's see what you would take of it. Let's see what your thoughts on it is. And it's called Thought Power by Edu Shola. So yes, please.
God. Am I gonna die by a gunshot? What? Gunshot? I'm scared.
One day, Sha. One day, you and me.
In your dreams, Mr. Desola.
He knew what he was talking about.
I know I'm done with
Africa is green.
I knew it that I'm gonna die by a gunshot.
If you look at it, I'll shoot.
They want me to give them sanity and so.
That is thought power. Your thoughts are so powerful that it can redirect the course of your life and destiny. Your thoughts can either jeopardize your life chances or re-energize you with new chances. What is important is for you to know that your mind is a vessel of insights and opportunities. It is also a vessel of the devil's instruments. How best you use it is determined by your reactions to your thinking. Learn to take charge of your life by taking charge of your thoughts. At all times, by constantly looking at positive part of your mind. Reject and take off negative thoughts from your mind because it can kill you without knowing. What to think of all day, all week, and all times becomes what happens to you. Now, check your thought meter. It can either be highly positive or highly negative. Where you are now is as a result of your choice of thoughts. But I advise you to think positively and have the thought power.
Okay. Yes, thank you. It looks like the third part took over that man up there. Okay, what do you think? I can see you holding him. Was he scared? Oh, sorry. So I think you should add a rated 18 or something to your short film. Yeah. So I would love your thoughts on thought power. Seriously. And the good thing is the creator is here, so you can really ask him, what was going through your mind? What are you going through? Are you fine? Yes, any questions, please? That's 2 short films to go. 2 short films done already. But any questions, any feedback on this? Yes, okay. Please feel free to.
So my concern is the fact that the scene where the guy realizes that he's not the problem, it kind of felt a little bit expository, like way too much, in the sense that it went on for a long time. We got the gist. That's my concern. That's the only feedback I have. Otherwise, I think that the animation is good, and the person that voiced the character was really trying to aspire to inspire. So I love that. But at the end of the day, I think the audience got the core message of how thoughts are powerful. So thank you, well done.
Okay, any other feedback? Yes.
I thought it was Jumoke that killed the guy. I don't know where it was thought. Because if Jumoke had not called, he would have taken whatever he wants to take and go. Eh?
Any other feedback, please? Please, and we can go technical or like you all are saying, general feedback on it. Do you have any feedback? Anyone here? This zone is really quiet. Yes, David. Okay, let me go to them.
Okay, yeah, based on the art style, right? I mean, kind of low poly.
Okay.
So it can be more polished than that. Lighting as well. I mean, the message was well conveyed, right? But it can look better, basically. So kudos to the creator.
Yeah. I like the way you said it, like the creator is not at your back. Wonderful. Perfect. This is the kind of feedback we want. Yes, please.
I think the last scene where there was like a voiceover over the entire thing, I really like how it was simple. Like from a technical perspective, was a simple scene to do, but that was all that was necessary to actually convey.
You're sure they didn't run out of money?
Well, it looked like it was all that was necessary to convey this. So I just love the use of that simplicity.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Please, you're getting all the feedback, right?
Alright, so I wanted to say that at the end, when he actually started explaining, I thought he was going to do like a positive side of the thinking after doing the negative, to like for us to compare by ourselves, but it was actually good.
Okay. Thank you. Hold on. Yes.
To what he said, in communication, you can be extreme to communicate something. It's something people remember more, but if you negate it by bringing a positive side, they'll forget about the extreme aspects of the whole story. So probably the storyteller is just trying to be extreme so that people will remember the story.
Yeah. And this was very extreme.
Yeah.
Thanks for the feedbacks. This is what we are here for, and thank you. Yes.
Yeah, well done, but I think the animation can be more polished. It was more like a key pose, from one key pose to key pose. There was no lot of in-betweens for me. So I think the animation... No.
He said he's a star. She said no.
Are you the animator?
We are going technical, right? So the animation can be more polished.
Okay. Any other feedback, please? Okay, you have, the creator, anyone here? Okay. And then I think the creator has something to say. Please, tell him the truth. That's what we need.
Okay, for me it's a positive review. And that's the camera movement. I kind of love the camera movement because it kind of gets the attention of the audience. So you kind of follow it, and so for someone like me who's kind of into animation, I love the camera movement. So that's just it, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I actually loved the whole thing, but I noticed something when the phone was ringing.
Yeah.
We're having 3 different sounds going on. So the phone sound, background music, another sound again. So the whole message during that time was, I don't know.
Yeah.
So probably can work on that part.
Yeah. You want to say something?
No.
Okay. But you agree?
Yes.
Okay then. So I think the creator wants to say something. Please.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Actually, Thought Power was my second short film. That was, I think, about 8 years ago when I just got into this whole animation thing. I think my first short film was I Am Sudan. That was what I expected him to show, but Oscar being Oscar showed this one because I always avoid showing this one out there. And I don't think that's ever been shown on the screen before. It has never been shown on the screen. I've been out for more than 8 years and it's just been on YouTube. So it's actually a good moment for me. I wish the guy we ran it together is here. He's actually a mentor of mine. He aspires to aspire. But I'm happy I got the feedback, and of course now we make something with actually Finny, don't worry. You know now. This was the beginner Shola, but now we have a team and that is capable, and yeah, thank you very much for the feedback, guys. I appreciate it.
So the future Shola showed the beginner Shola's work. But yeah, I think that was a good one. The message was very strong and extreme as well, in my own opinion. And it did pass a message, but please, next time, rated 18, and yeah. So before we move on, we were in the app. So let's clap for ourselves, please. Yeah. So I would move on quickly now to the next. We will be screening. And who remembers the first animation we screened? Anyone? The name? Yeah? Shola? Yeah? Bushido. And the second is what? Totpa. Yes. So this third animation is from, I believe, Senegal. Yes, I believe, because he travels a lot and he gets messed up sometimes. Just like myself, some people say, are you Ghanaian? No. Are you Kenyan? No. And they say, are you Nigerian? I still say no. I'm African. Yeah. So I believe he's from Senegal. His name is Aman Kayode. And he's an awesome person. He's a creator. This animation we're about to show has been screened at many film festivals. And when I first watched it in 2021, I really liked it. I loved it a lot, actually. And I decided to share with you all once more. And that is called Mark of Love. Yes, please bring up Mark of Love. Enjoy. That is not pulling through. But yeah, the fourth animation came out this year as well. It's proudly Nigerian, and most of you must have seen the trailer out there. And that is from Spoof Animation, right? And that is Ajaka Lost in Rome. So yes, please, can we pull that up?
This story is not a simple one. It's a story of love, hate, and betrayal. A tale of war, blood, and regret. The story of a man's search for his own identity and purpose. And yet, finding no closure on the many wishes of the gods. It begins in the ancient Yoruba city of Oyo, but continues in the gladiator pits of Rome. My name is Ajaka, son of Oromio the Great, king of Oyo, second in command only to the Orishas, and God on earth. And this is my story.
Looks like you'll be opening up for the crowds tonight. Are you ready?
Ready? You enter those pits believing you are ready, and you die before your first blow.
But you have won your fights ever since you joined this company. You are loved by the crowd.
They don't love me, Hadrianus. They love to see me murder and maim.
Yet you have the favor of the Dominus. He allows you a stroll out of the barricade. Every now and then, even with your
black skin. The love for a chicken is not beyond its meat and gizzard, my friend. The Dominus is only but a shrewd businessman.
I pray I one day fight and win the favor of the crowd and Dominus like you do.
You think I fight for glory and honor? I can't do this, Father. I can't play the politics with these people anymore. They want war, but I seek peace. You still mourn him, Ajaka? Father's boy. Shango, the vulture hovers around the dying, long before it gives up its last breath. This carcass is cold and long gone, brother. The council favored me over you. Do yourself the honor and leave. And if I refuse, little brother? Then I will make you. Then do it now. Kill your king. Let us mock our father's grave. You know you won't last one round in my presence. I dare you.
why steal what will eventually be mine?
Come back here, Shango, and let's finish this once and for all. Shango! Shango!
Kaka. Yes, Dominus. You bow to the Caesar, my boy. Seek his favor and his grace. Promise me my freedom after this, Dominus. This is not the place, Ajaka. Enjoy your victory today. Acknowledge the crowd who cheer for you. But thank you, brother, for sending help. I will never forget your service to your king.
You mean your king, Ajaka?
How dare you refer to me by name, Ashikba?
You are no longer our king, Ajaka. Your weakness on the throne has emboldened our enemies to war against us.
Yes, even all our tributaries are refusing to pay their taxes. Our markets are a shadow of themselves. People now prefer to travel all the way to
Ilaro to buy and sell.
But I brought peace to our lands.
Ajaka, peace won't fill our pockets. The spoils of war from lands conquered far and abroad will. Your father knew this, and we served him till his death.
But this can't be. This is impossible. A king can only cease to be king at his death. And even then, he rules with the gods in the heavens.
Your Yomesi are the kingmakers. And as long as tradition still exists, they have the final say on who rules Oyo Kingdom. But have some dignity, elder. Just leave. Make my stomach churn already.
You planned this all along, Shango. You have done the unimaginable. I curse you today.
Abomination! Take your words back immediately.
You leave me no choice. Ajaka, I, Shango, King of Oyo Kingdom, hereby banish you from the lands of Oyo and its tributaries.
You can't do this!
Anyone who finds you in any of my lands is allowed to kill you and collect a reward as payment for your head. I have spoken.
I am tired, my king. Let us rest.
We have to keep moving, my love. We are almost at the borders of Abome. The Dahomey Amazons will grant us refuge.
Can you trust them? You know, they are still our enemies.
They are Oyo's enemy. Moremi, Oyo has rejected me. Did you hear that?
No.
Stay behind me. We are not alone here.
May the gods protect us.
Come out and fight, you cowards! Moremi, run! Ah! Who are you people? what do you want? Shango may have mistaken humility for weakness, but I am my father's son. And even though I may not wear the crown, I am still your king. Murami! Murami!
You can't sleep again tonight, Ajaka. Nice fight today. The Caesar was impressed. I hear he may grant you your freedom. Try to return before the morning rounds this time, okay?
Julia.
You are late.
I might be the favorite in the gladiator pits, but I'm still a slave.
You fought well today. You will win your freedom soon, and we can finally be together. You are still having your dreams?
Yes. I still hear my wife's voice calling to me from the grave. My heart still longs for the palace in Oyo.
But you can start a new life here. Maybe join Caesar's army. We can get married
Look at
and...
me, Julia. I will never be accepted here. I will never be more than a second-class citizen.
You will always be first in my heart, Ajaka.
Huh?
Ajaka, Dominus seeks for you.
You sent for me.
Yes, Ajaka. What if I tell you that you could be on your way to Ethiopia by sunrise tomorrow morning?
I have told you, I am from Oyo, not Ethiopia.
Yes, but I'm offering you freedom, my friend.
But why wait till sunrise tomorrow when I can be on my way right now?
Well, you will need to do one last thing for me. One last job, and all your debt is fully paid.
I was sold into slavery, remember? I never asked to be here.
There you go again, Ajaka. You and your complaining. Yes, you were sold to me as a slave, but I paid good money to buy you.
And I have made you 1,000 more, Dominus.
Why, Zeus, stop this nonsense. Do you want your freedom or not?
What do you want me to do?
Yeah. Please clap for yourself, please. Yeah, yeah. Seems the back stretching like, yeah. So, this is the last film we'll be screening tonight. I don't know what happened with the other one in terms of audio, but what's your feedback, please? I'd really love to hear from you. Yes, okay.
Hi guys and ladies. All right, so I'll just go straight to it. To be honest, I've seen this before, and I'm actually very happy that you screened it because I was getting worried for a bit. And let me tell you why I was getting worried. So I work with agencies abroad, and I remember when we set a meeting with Studio Canal. I don't know if anybody knows who Studio Canal is. And then they were saying that they couldn't authorize a budget of more than $15,000 for a movie, for a full-length movie, because of the quality of products that we release in our country. You might say $15,000 is much, but it's nothing. It's literally will come to maybe something like 10 million naira or something. So that means the whole production, paying the staff, everything is going to be 10 million, which is rubbish, by the way. But beyond that also, there's a writer's strike in the US. And so our agencies in the US were like, okay, maybe we should start looking for teams outside to package, and that's a long story, other titles that we can push to studios, but that we should expect much less because no serious investor would want to pay a certain amount, higher than a certain amount because of the quality of things we produce in our country. And so I see some things and I'm hearing, oh, this is 100% and this is this. And it reminds me of our core problem where we're settling for less, right? The last animation by Spoof, I know the guys who did it. The person who did the animatics, they followed all of the process, is a Nigerian who works in the US and places like that, places where there are actual standards. And I want to encourage us not to settle because we want to encourage ourselves. We're doing ourselves a lot more harm than good, right? If we want to do this as a business, and anybody that is here just doing this for the sake of doing it, then I don't think we should waste our time by not trying. Like, the world is no longer Africa, US, Europe. The world is a global community. Everybody here has Netflix. Netflix is not a Nigerian company. Most people have Prime, right? Heck, MTN that you're using is a South African company. We should try and strive for global standards. And from some of the things I've seen, the fix are really very easy. A little more time with the animation, finished graphics, stuff like that. Like, I don't want to go on because I don't want to be the bad guy here, but something like Ajaka tells me that yes, it is actually possible for people to put out good content and not just put out content for content's sake. So that you don't have people saying we can't pay you this just because most of what you see out there isn't up to standard. So, this is really good. Everything about it, from the animatics to the animation to the action, there are one or two things that could be made perfect, but that's the thing, it's one or two. It's not the general feel. And I want all of us to raise our bar. I want us to tell the creators the truth so that when we are ready to enter the game, and I mean people that are aspiring here, there's already a reputation that has been put out there where people will take you seriously and pay you the money you deserve, right? Not the money you're worth because of the content you're putting out, but the money you deserve because you put out good content. You must understand that the world doesn't care about how you feel. It cares about the value you provide. And if you provide good value, they'll pay for it. So let's strive for higher value. But based on all of the nonsense I've just said, this was really good, and I really like it.
Yeah, please let's clap. So yes, the floor is open for feedback. You have feedback? Oh, I was really excited, yeah. Okay, yes?
Yeah, this was a really great one for me. I think I was talking to Winston here.
A little louder.
Okay. I think this was a really good one for me. I was talking to Winston here, about how now I'm more interested to know about Oyo, and apparently I didn't know that according to the mythology, Songo was once a king in Oyo. And now watching this, I actually want to know more about the mythology, and I think that's great. It's a very good name.
Okay, yes? Feedback?
Mine is like a question. I wanted to ask.
For me?
like for us,
Okay,
for us
for
as
us.
creatives, like
Yeah.
would it have been bad if in those local scenes they were speaking Yoruba, the language which is actually more original, and then when they are back in the ancient, maybe Rome, they are speaking the Romance language. I was kind of feeling like the literature part where in the king settings, the Alafins and all the kings are speaking in English. So one way or the other, I feel like we could have it in Yoruba and have a subtitle under it. But I wanted to just feel like maybe it doesn't really meet the quality. I don't know what that would be.
So that's an open house question. Anyone wants to tackle that? Okay, you want to say something?
I think for me, it's more like a comment, actually. There's often this trade-off between originality and how wide you want your content to go. So I don't know the plan of Spoof towards this, but they might look at probably the vast majority of people who would watch this might not be Yoruba speakers. So to localize it, or should I say globalize it, they might pick a language that more people can relate with.
Okay. Any other comments in relation to that question? Yes, please, Chad.
I think to add to what he said, there is this movie about World War II, Enemy at the Gates. It's a movie from the Germans' perspective of the war, but they were speaking all through in Queen's English. It was crazy. So you would look at that and you would think that this is a terrible, creative decision. But once again, yeah, like I said, it depends on the market you're planning to sell this with. So Enemy at the Gates premiered and debuted in USA. So that was the reason why they told the story in English. So it's most down to a creative decision and a production decision most times.
Okay. Any other comments? Yes, okay, yeah. Spoof was one of the studios most of you were meant to go to, but you enjoyed the island so much, you forgot all of us in the mainland. Don't worry, I've written it down.
Okay, so I'm coming from the anime perspective. We have the sub and the dub. So there can't be both. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, sub and dub. Okay, yeah? She lost you. Okay. Hold on, please. Yes, let her. Don't worry, I'll give it to her. Yes.
Okay, so sub is you have it in Japanese this and then dub is English. Yeah.
Have you been found? It's very simple, sub and dub.
So I love the film. I loved the fight scenes. I loved the fight scenes. I'm not really a technical person, so I'm not going to.
You loved the fighting.
I love the fight scenes actually. I loved it a lot. I love how they weren't afraid to show blood. I love how they weren't afraid to really go into that. I really love that. I love the general. It was a good one. Thank you.
Okay. So we have one comment here, and any other person so that I know? Okay, so last comment.
Okay, mine is actually a question. I enjoyed the screening, and I'll say that my observation is most of our animations are violent. I watched one online, League of Orisha. I don't know how many people watched that. It's really good. And my comments in the comment section was, why are all our animations violent? And most of the people said that is what Africans like. I want to find out whether it is a general perception or it is just the online community thinking this.
Okay. I'll wait it. You love violence, raise your hand up. You love violence, raise your hand up. You can see them. Okay, but I think it's more of a target audience decision as well. Personally, I mean, we have the Limitless Studio with Omoberry, focused on kids. There's no violence. The Super 4 Team Kids, is that what it's called? The one that released on Netflix. Is it Super 4 Team Kids? Is there violence there? I've not really seen that. Okay, maybe to some extent, but they are superhero kids and all. And then if you saw Kizazimoto, that was more like an anthology. There was some with violence and all. So I think it's mainly Personally, I'll speak for myself. Of course, I want the action. Without the action, it's like, it makes me feel like a child. You get? But with the action, it makes me feel like a happy child. And that's something that, even when it comes to movies and all, that's also a decision I make. I want to know there is action in it. It keeps me alive, else I would sleep up. So I don't know of others, and this is really a small.
But don't you think that doing more of the violence, don't you think introducing more violence is just painting a picture that Africans are violent? Because I think we can be peaceful, we can be loving. There are so many stories. The Lion King story, I heard, is African. There are so many stories that are actual stories that don't have a lot of violence. Why do we keep pushing the violence part? I think it paints a bad picture of us.
Someone wants to speak. You want to? Yes, you want to as well. There's another one coming. I think it has premiered already. Mikolo. That's like live action 3D animation. I've not seen that yet, but let's hear from them. They have the answers. I'm just here to move the mic.
So, as on, I understand your standpoint, but then I think that's why we have different niches of films, right? Even in anime, like Japanese anime that's popular, like Naruto has violence, and it's watched. Everybody has watched Naruto, if you watch anime, right? One Piece has violence, Kimetsu no Yaiba has violence, So I think it boils down from the creative perspective to the audience that are looking at. The people that like slice of life, very like slow, monotonic, sad, not sad, but like life movies where it's just life that's happening to people back to back, right? But if you think of what sells, even globally, not just Africa, not just Nigeria, we generally we like fighting films, we like action, everything. And I think for the studio, they were thinking, oh, we want to come to the market with something that will garner our attention, and that's just what it did. So I don't think it boils down to our identity as a culture. We can't all put, like, we can't say, oh, Africans like violence, everybody likes violence. Excuse me, there's WWE wrestling. That's American, right? It just boils down to the niche, the audience, and what the creators' intentions were. That's what I think.
Okay, yes, David, please.
Yeah, similar to the point she made, right? Like there are different genres, you know, in films and games and everywhere, and it all depends on the genre you want to play. So if you probably look at that studio, maybe they do better in genres like this. Maybe the kind of stories they have are for, you know, this kind of thing. So, and it's very similar in games as well. Like, you know, we have games for kids, you know, games for adults, and same thing in films. So you really can't like owe them or blame them. If it's a very good story, it's just the rating that would, you know, maybe people of this kind of, like, look, kids can't watch this, but you can't take it all out, because if you want to really portray the stories very well, you might have to, you know, show some of these things, and that's the fun in them.
Yeah. Okay, I think Shola wants to speak. I look forward to a time where we'll be having enough data to back these perspectives, because right now it's all how we feel, what we think, but it will be good to, a time will come, we would have data to say, oh, viewership for violence, viewership for la 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 la, so that you know what market you're targeting.
Actually, for me, because growing up, watching a lot of Nollywood movies, and because I used to watch a lot of action movies as well, because most of the movies I watch from like outside Nigeria and outside Africa, basically, are all action movies. Like, you understand? Like, but yeah, back then in Nollywood, we barely have action movies. I don't know if you agree with me. Like, back then, the only action movies we might see are maybe the olden days ones, like where they use village sets, you understand, like the epic ones. But mostly, I can say like 80% of our movies are family
issues, witchcraft.
Witches, you understand? So I think if we were going about maybe witchcraft, okay, I would agree. But I think we'll say action. But now, what we Africans or Nigerians are just trying to do is we try to bring out, even if you look at our comics too, what we try to do is that we try to show that action part, because we feel like we lack it. Because I remember when Schoolboy, I don't know who remembers that movie, it's quite old. Schoolboy, one old action movie back then. When it came out, we were all excited. They brought it to my boarding school then, and it was really cool because that was like the first time we saw proper martial arts in a Nigerian movie. So we don't really have enough of it, but maybe because we are doing animation now, and yeah, but me, I'm a big fan of action though, so I would I would stand by it anytime. I love action movies.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe I'm looking at it this way from a psychology point. I think what you grow up with is what you turn into. So probably because your childhood is full of violence, you are. Oh, excuse me, I'm not judging you though, but probably that is what affected your adulthood. So my question is, if we make a conscious effort, because my culture, I'm Ebe, our history has a lot of love, a lot of positive things, but when you check out the history of Ebes, it's more of Juju and Kinagokoli and the other ones. I am wondering why only the negative stories are put out there. Is it not a conscious effort to make us look bad instead of us telling positive stories? I know a little about Shango, Orisha, and the rest, but I'm thinking, don't they have positive stories that we should be pushing out there for people to know that there's positivity instead of just their fights, their betrayals, and the other things? Because our history shapes us, and if all that we are telling in the form of telling our history is the violent part, then we are doing ourselves a lot of disservice because we are not letting the younger ones know what actually happened in the form of why I'll get to Dahomey and I'm accepted, why I'll get to other tribes and I'm accepted, but they only talk about why the Eves and the Ashantis are quarreling, or why this tribe and this tribe are quarreling. There are other positive things that we should be pushing out there so that we change the narratives for a positive influence on the younger ones who don't care already.
Yes, please. Oh, you want to speak? Yeah, this one is
something to that. I think everybody has mentioned this before. There's the intent of the writer, right, that goes into them writing stories. And one of those things you can point to is highlighting certain parts of our experience as human beings, right? You wouldn't, if you were part of the people that suffered some of these evils, you wouldn't want every writer to completely ignore it, right? You wouldn't feel marginalized if people were to write about the experience of Africans, but not your own experience. Yes, it depends. So that's what I started with. It's the writer's intent that you have to summarize and, okay, try to understand. No, okay. There's still another point of view where you would not paint good triumphing over evil anything other than positive. But for good to triumph over evil, there has to be violence. No?
Yeah, I beg to differ. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to ask a couple of questions to just guide you. How many Nigerian animation have you seen?
The ones that are popular.
Question is how many?
Just a few though.
How many?
I can't put a number.
Okay, so if the number is 10, which I doubt, right? If the number is 10, then you've seen a very small percentage for you to come to the conclusion that you have.
Those
right?
are the ones I've seen.
Exactly. So again, because you've seen a few, right? It's your conclusion is incorrect, and most of the stories that we put out there are violent. So that's the first perspective, right? The second perspective is it's like asking you, can you really tell the story of Africa without talking about, us being colonized?
Depends.
Can you?
Yes, I can.
Without talking about colonialism?
Yeah.
And would you be painting a true perspective about African history?
An authentic identity of what it means to be African.
So the truth is this: you can't tell a story about a warrior, a king who fought, killed people, was drunk, and was eventually hung. You can't tell the story of Shango or Ajaka without talking about the battles that they fought, because that is what the stories are about.
So my question is, are those the only stories to be told?
No, I've just told you, you've only seen 10%, so you can't say, and I can tell you confidently that it's not. There are loads of stories. We have Tales by Moonlight.
So why
We have the story of the tortoise.
That was my question.
They are out there. You haven't seen them. That's what I'm saying.
The ones that are hyped are the ones I'm seeing.
How do you know they're hyped?
Because the community I belong to talks about just a certain type.
Which community is that?
The gamers and the game developers. Those are my only links to the Nigerian industry.
Okay, so again, you do know that Nigeria has 200 million people. The community you are in, are you in communities that are up to 5,000 people?
No.
So what percentage would you say your community represents?
I'm talking about the percentage I know. So my sample space.
So here's my worry. You're very definitive with your conclusion that there's too much violence out there, but you don't have enough data, like you said, to come to that conclusion. And you're on it. That's one. The second thing is we do have to tell our story correctly. You cannot have a story, and we must tell the stories about people like Shango, Moremi, for example. Moremi actually got the whole tribe of soldiers burnt alive, right? That is the truth about Moremi. Shango got drunk, killed a lot of people, got hung, right? He was a warrior, same as Ajaka. We cannot tell those stories of our history without telling the truth about what really happened. You mentioned the Dahomey warriors. In fact, the biggest outrage with the movie that came out about the Dahomey warriors was that it was incorrect. They were murdering people for sport, right? Now, a movie came out to put them in a positive light. The whole world revolted against it because it's a lie. So in order for us to tell the truth, we must tell this. But then again, I can assure you that there's a large population of animated content, like loads of it on local TV, that is just peaceful, right? I grew up on a lot of peaceful animated content. You know, one of it, again, like I said, was Tales by Moonlight, right? And a lot of content is out there right now that is peaceful. And we don't want this perspective where we're convincing creators who want to tell accurate, true stories about our history, not to because it's violence. It is our history. The same as slavery is our history and different cultures. Some of them are peaceful, some of them are not. We shouldn't be ashamed of our past and our heritage. But those of us, and the final point is, the people who want to tell peaceful stories should come into the game, and they are in the game, but there is a large population out there.
Yes. Please, let's clap for everyone. I think one other thing to add also is, as curators, we should also be diverse in what we create and showcase. Yes. And all of this was created on the perspective of the kind of audience that would come in. And I think, personally, I would put in more effort as well. Of course, like I said, there's Omoberry. There are many more content. There's SIP, for example, by Magic Carpet, right? And that is not being shown today. Yes, yes. So that's good feedback for us as curators to try and balance it so that we don't also unintentionally promote this notion that everything is about violence. Yeah. You want to say something? Okay.
Okay, hi. I feel like it's not just that part. I mean it's the people that decide it, if you ask me. Because you as a creator, you just create something and you put it out there, and then the people actually accept it or they don't accept it. I mean, there are fighting games like Mortal Kombat, there's Street Fighter, there's this thing, but then Mortal Kombat sells Street Fighter like by far. You're not what I said, that is the people that actually buy it. So it's not like, I'm sure there are a lot of love stories out there, like there are plenty of them, but then people, maybe the whole market doesn't gravitate towards that side, and then they don't hype it, they don't talk about it that much as the action side and the violence side. I mean, I just opened up highest grossing movies in the world. There are like how many sorts of movies? The rest of them are like action everywhere. So that's what the whole world wants. It's not like one person alone. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Once more, we need data, lots of data to back this up. And as creators, I would personally also start ensuring that you get we bring all those perspectives. Because like I said, there's SIP, there's Super Dad. There are many animations out there that we could have showed as well, so that we don't promote a one-sided view of the industry. And that's good feedback from you as well, because we need to be intentional about this. So we've come to the end of the film screening. Everyone please clap for yourself. Yeah. Yes, thank you very much. This was very much of an exchange. I think I've learned one or two as well from all your perspective, and I'm really excited we got to do this. This would be the first of many. I can't say when next it would happen, but thanks. We're glad to have included this in the Gamathon week. You've gone through the tour. Now you've watched some short animation films from across Africa. A very short one, please note. And now, today comes to an end, but then we know we have a couple of more activities laid out. Tomorrow, you're going to be seeing what the Nigerian and African video games industry is really made of. About 20 game studios are pitching tomorrow at Odeya Center in Oneko. And then there's going to be some little panel sessions where we're talking about the funding gap in the creative industry. I do know the World Intellectual Property Organization now has an office in Nigeria, and it's, guess what? It's the only office in sub-Saharan Africa. It's the only office by the World Intellectual Property Organization. Please clap for them, come on. And the job of that office is from Abuja to see how to reach out to the entire of Africa to educate all creators about their intellectual property. And the good news I had, because we had a meeting with them last week, they were here in Lagos, is that when they had the WIPO event this year, there was an entire zone dedicated to game development. So apparently it's a very big space, because even in games, you are creating a lot of content that can serve as IP. And so they are really excited to meet you all. There would be a representative. The head of WIPO, or a representative, if he can't make it, will be at Odeya tomorrow to tell you about what they plan on doing in the Nigerian and African space, because that's the only office serving the entire of Africa. So those of you from outside Nigeria, please see how you can connect with them, so that if you want follow-up sessions and all virtually, that can happen. So there'll be some sessions tomorrow. There'll be the pitch competition. On Friday, we have the activity dedicated to teenagers, right? So the young kids will be coming out. Some game studios and comic studios and all will be converging at Vibranium Valley at the airport to show the kids that you don't have to be a doctor. Okay, if you want to, that's fine. Our aim is not to go there and convince them that no, don't be a doctor, don't be a lawyer. It's just to show them that there are alternative pathways and they can explore that if they're interested. And even if they are not, make them aware, because like we said, perceptions are formed early. Most of the things we hold as truth today is because we were exposed to them as younger ones, yeah. So let them know that, oh, you can read Marvel, you can read DC, and then there's the ones from African studios, right? That you can actually interact with. And then on Saturday, the Gamathon week comes to an end at Murio Koala Park, where the Creative Block Carnival will be happening. So thank you guys for spending time with us this evening, and we wish you a safe ride home. Thank you very much. Yeah. Please feel free to interact. If there's someone whose comment you did not like, you can. But feel free to interact, please. Feel free to connect with one another.
There's no peace. Who said he wants peace? I know. Done. I want violence. No peace. I want war.